Here's a contentious discussion.
I thought there'd be something.
I've lost interest in this fucking idiot. There was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the things we're going to talk about, this could probably get us into a bit of trouble if anyone bothers to listen to it. There was a transgender person. I'm not fully aware what transgender means, so I did a bit of research. It's not sexuality, it's personal gender identity.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So a man who identifies as a woman.
Yes.
And has apparently legally changed her identity to female.
Yes.
But hasn't had an operation, so she's still got her bits.
It's enough that she believes that she's...
Yeah. She was stopped at customs trying to get back into Canada after a visa expired.
Yeah.
But instead of deporting her, they temporarily put her in a male prison.
Right.
Because she was born a man.
Yes.
But doesn't identify as a man.
Yeah.
Right? I generally don't understand why it's such a big deal if you've got a pair of testicles to be put in a part of the prison with other people who also have testicles.
This comes down to a lot of that social justice bullshit, and it is people that are too privileged to get on with life that they have to do this. I appreciate some people do want to be, they're not comfortable in their own skin, but this person has obviously made a point of saying, I want to be a female, yeah, but won't go through with the physical elements of it. So changing your gender through and through, I can almost relate to.
Yeah.
I understand it. Going halfway it's going to cause some confusion. And this is exactly it. But it makes you wonder how many of these you get in less privileged societies.
Yeah.
Where they don't have the care for it. Where life...
I love how carefully we're wording this.
No, I'm just saying, like, if there's more going on in your life than kind of just sitting around, dicking around on the internet.
Yeah.
Like these people that believe they're wolves or dragons or some bullshit.
Furries.
Yeah. Or otherkin.
I've got no problem with
themselves.
otherkin.
Yeah.
I've heard this term and I don't know much about it. But this is my point about why I bring it up.
Yeah.
Is that it was immediately leapt on by the transgender community and other communities to support it. And, you know, fucking fair luck to it. If you identify as one gender or another, good luck to you. You know, it's no problem. But they leapt on it to immediately condemn the people who put this person in a male prison.
Yes.
Even though she identifies as a female, but she was born a man. And that, you know, it's either the right decision or the wrong decision. But what no one ever said was, perhaps we need to educate on this matter. Instead, they immediately went, this is horrific anti-transgender bias, they're homophobes, they're dismissive, it's backward thinking, you know, how are we ever going to get equal stance? But it's not that at all. They just don't know how to deal with it. But instead of looking to open up and say, well, the reason they identify as this, the reason they want to be treated as a female is this, in future perhaps you could do this. They didn't do that. They just went, fuck you, you're wrong and you hate us.
See, I don't think, and this is probably the complete opposite stance to you, and I'm not saying this to be a dick, I don't think we should have to be taught. Because fuck them. This is a decision, right? That's like saying...
see, that's where it gets murky.
Right.
That's not saying being homosexual is a decision. It's not. It's how you identify.
Right, okay. But what if you identify as being a fat fuck and want to eat 24/7 and you get arrested and they don't feed you 24/7 and other people who identify as fat fucks are disgusted by this? I'm just saying, right, I know it's completely different, but how about that? Or what if this person did identify as a fucking dragon and said, how dare you put me, a dragon, a fucking dragon, in a cage full of non-dragons? Don't you know I might eat these people?
I understand your point.
Because that's
they don't have dragon prisons as standard. They've got male or female prisons. They don't have dragon prisons.
Okay, so where do we start making dragon prisons?
But you can't, on your passport, you can have male or female. You can legally look to change from male to female or vice versa if you identify one or the other.
Yeah.
If you identify as a dragon, you can't send off to your local government to say, can I please have my passport to say gender dragon?
Okay, so go back to
because you'll still be a male or female dragon.
Yeah. What if you identify as a dwarf then?
Well, that's a certain height requirement. It's like riding on a dodgems.
No, because I'm saying identify.
If you identify as a small person.
Yes, but you're not actually a small person. Because these
but
people
again,
exist.
that's not a gender.
No,
that's just that's a dimensions thing. This is pure gender bias.
Then instead of going to prison, why aren't you in a pet factory? If you find a badger in the road and it's stolen some crisps.
So if you're a dragon, if you identify as a dragon,
yep,
and you break the law,
a human law,
you should be put down.
Yeah. Right, so we need to put down transgender people.
But they're not necessarily identifying as dragons.
If they break the law, we need to put them down. Sorry, I understand. I could see you wince there, and I understand. Yeah, if they break the law, transgender people...
No, you said
to save
dragons.
them the heartbreak
dragons.
of being put in a prison that might contain a sex that they don't identify as, we need to put them down.
Well, I guess it is about time we started ripping on the people of different gender. We've done enough racism and child abuse and rape. I guess transgender was next in the firing line.
You know, I'm a big fan of a band called Against Me, and I don't know much if you know much about them.
I've know of them,
but the singer has recently changed gender.
Okay.
Tom, I can't remember his second name. I want to say York, but I think that's the dick from Radiohead.
Great band,
Tom Gable, maybe? Tom Gable. He has recently changed his gender from male to female.
Okay.
I don't believe he's had an operation. I honestly don't know enough about this kind of stuff to understand, but I think he is now female, or she is now female. She is married to a female. Yeah. And they have a child who's, 4 or 5, and I think from what I understand, they've been, he's been struggling with gender confusion all of his life. Yeah. So I've read up a little bit on it, and obviously, I understand the whole social justice thing is an amazing source of laughter online. If you read what these people actually believe, it is absolutely fantastic. There's, fat shaming, there is black shaming, there is white shaming, there's the fact that white people can't be shamed because they've got white privilege. Yeah. Men, cis scum, all of that. People that identify as both sexes.
You could find an opinion against or supporting any fucking viewpoint of any race, religion, creed, nationality, whatever you want to fucking do.
Yeah. So and that's why I find it so difficult to relate to this person, because they haven't followed through. They've literally said, I identify as a female. Yes, they may have pursued that legally. Yeah. But not to the point where they are female.
This is what I was doing when I was researching last night. I was trying to find out if there's a very simple definition of trans. Because when they said transgender person or transgender community in uproar because of this, person kept stopped at customs in Canada, put in the wrong prison. I wanted to find out exactly what basis it was the wrong prison. Yeah. Right. And like I say, it's identifying with your gender or the opposite gender. See, without necessarily going, because it's not. There's transgender and there's transsexual. Yeah. Transsexual is when you do the operation. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Transgender's when you identify.
Transgender's when you identify, but you don't necessarily go for the whole deal. But the only thing that did me is, if you're born a male, and you've got the male package, all right,
you are male. The thing is,
if you identify as a female, identify as a female, good luck to you. Fucking.
They're saying,
but this is a legal institution. You broke the law. You had to be held in a cell.
Yes. And I'm not being funny.
And they just kept you in a male prison because
this is Canada. How many people are in this prison? Like 7. I mean, what laws can be broken in Canada? You might not shovel your snow fast enough. Or
the story was that they extended. They were on a student visa from the UK to Canada. Stayed in Canada.
You're kidding me.
Stayed in Canada longer than they were meant to.
This isn't even an American person.
No,
this is.
It was a British person who went to Canada on a student visa, overstayed past the terms of their visa, went back to the UK to visit family, and tried to fly back into Canada. Right. On an expired visa. Yeah. They noticed it was expired, and instead of deporting her back to the UK straight away, while they got the paperwork sorted out, they held her in a cell. Yeah. In a male cell, not in general population. She wasn't. Because that was the danger. Is that they're going to get the fuck beat out of them because they're a transgender person in a male cell and they won't understand, which is a fair point. But they were keeping that out of general population.
How would the average person know this is transgender?
People in prison are cunts.
No, how would that person... If I was transgender I was given a prison outfit...
It's the same as if Justin Bieber was put in the general population of a male prison. Because of how they look, they would get picked on.
Because they're a pretty boy, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this was a very pretty boy because he'd been making himself up to look female.
See, this is where it confuses me. Because if you've gone to that far, you're not just a man you're a man pretending to be female. Yeah. And
I'll be honest, when I saw the picture of this person I was talking about, I thought it was female.
Then why not go the whole 9 yards?
Well, who knows? But this is the point, is I tried to educate myself, and there's so many different terms. There's transgender, transsexual, androgyny, androgynous, post-op, pre-op.
Yeah.
Fucking the whole thing. And I don't know enough about it to make a statement. But purely from a legal law security point of view, you fucked up at customs.
Yes.
Trying to get back an expired visa. They had to hold you while I sorted it out.
Yeah.
To then massively shit on the people doing it because they don't understand what transgender is, instead of trying to reach out and go, well, this is the problem.
Yeah. Is
what annoys me. Is there's instant reaction of fuck the world, they hate us. Yeah. Instead of maybe we can reach some sort of compromise.
Again, I'm going to go with the fact that a compromise shouldn't even be needed. Gender.
I would say a compromise is needed. See, because that's the only way that there's ever going to be any consensus on fucking.
Okay, how do we deal with head case people or head friends? Head friends, they call themselves.
What's head friends?
That is when you have someone living in your body,
right? Not
necessarily the main host, that is of a different gender, that may take over from time and time.
Is that not mental illness?
No.
It's not schizophrenia?
No.
It's not multiple personality disorder?
This is
You create a voice in your own head?
No, it's a whole person. Not a voice, a whole person.
So there's two personalities in one body? Is that not the definition of multiple personality disorder?
No, you're not educated enough, mate. And this is where it becomes that there are people, and the most amazing one I've read, and I really wish this was satire, but apparently it's not. There was a male and female head friend, or whatever they call them, and the male raped the female head friend. And this was enough to make the female host
actually speechless. I don't understand how that works.
Right, so in that case, right, so you're a female, and you've got a male head friend.
Can we just identify the terms of that? Head friend is there is more than one personality.
No.
Completely distinctive personality in one body.
Who may
or may not take over from time to time.
From what I understand.
Right.
And it may not even be human.
Okay.
It could be a gate. It can be a fucking animal. It can be a dragon.
But it's in you.
It's in you and part of you. It is not an illness. It is...
This is fascinating to me.
It's fascinating because these people are allowed out in society. And it's fascinating because people like you think that we need to be educated on these things. And it's only one step away from what you're talking about with this person that thinks they're suddenly female.
No, but there's different steps.
No, but this is it.
I don't like.
This is one step beyond that, right?
Well,
my concern is we're educating here on something that we shouldn't be educated on because it's so outrageously bollocks. It's like us having to educate ourselves on Scientology.
If this ever reaches Jezebel, mate, we're in trouble.
It's like us trying to educate ourselves on Scientology.
Need a stronger legal team for that one.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's what I'm saying. Like, we can't educate ourselves on this. Sex is a scientific thing. If you have a penis, you are male. That's where it should be drawn the line. If you remove your penis and, with the decision to make it into female genitalia, you are female. That's how it should be, right?
See,
and I understand there might be the grey ground in between the two.
Yeah.
But I think, from an official point...
I think there's different grades and there's different requirements. I support your freedom to be transgender as much as I support your freedom to be gay.
Yeah.
As much as I support your freedom
to be a dragon.
To be in an open relationship or a closed relationship.
And a dragon.
And a dragon. If you want to be a dragon,
and a gate.
If you want to be a gate, be a gate. Right. My point is that there comes a point where society can only bend so far to accommodate you.
Yes.
If I would agree to a certain point that your freedom to choose to be transgender is just as important as your freedom to choose to be gay. Your freedom to choose to be a gate, perhaps not so much.
Well, you're just
and I would say that if
you're just an uneducated shitlord.
No, it's not. I would say if you believe that you have multiple personalities in your own body,
yeah,
that's the definition of multiple personality disorder.
And who defined that? Someone who doesn't
mental
have
doctors.
Yeah, who don't have multiple personalities, lacking. And that's that's it. That's the argument. How do you know these people aren't normal?
Because
how do you know that inside you there's not something that wishes that it could be a gate that could vote?
Well, then that's its own fault for not making itself apparent.
Yet.
Yeah.
I mean, these people don't choose.
But then
these people don't choose to be gays, mate. You've just said the gay... No, I'm going to come back. Because you said gay people don't choose to be gay. I'm saying these people don't choose to be doors.
Inside themselves.
They're inherently doors.
They're a door inside a human.
They are. They're a door to the soul.
Yes, you're saying there's a regular person like me and you and the people listening.
Yep.
And then there's a door inside your body, occasionally contesting for ownership of your host.
Yes.
Right.
But then that's only I'm talking about head friends. There could well be people listening.
When this is over, I'm going to research head friends because it sounds fucking fascinating.
I may not have the.
Is it bollocks? Is the head friends something someone's made up? Like when people wear furry outfits to say I'm a badger.
Quite possibly.
It's just a fantasy.
In the same way that transgender could be bollocks. And that's what I'm trying to get across here. Where do we draw the line? Transgender is when you don't identify as a sex you are.
Do you agree that transsexuality is a thing?
Transsexuality,
you have an operation to change your sex.
Yeah, you are that committed.
Yeah.
That you want to change your body.
But maybe transgender is that without the operation. Why does the medical intervention make one more valid than the other?
Because that's when you make a stance, you make a change.
It's a difference between...
I can think that I'm a lamp, but until I turn myself into a lamp, I'm not a lamp.
That's saying somebody gets a tattoo of a heart on their sleeve, and somebody gets a full sleeve tattoo.
Yeah,
they're not both allowed to like tattoos because one's more committed than the other.
Yeah, but one has at least had the tattoo.
No, they've both got tattoos. Yeah. Just one's got a full sleeve tattoo, and one's got a small tattoo.
Well, this one doesn't have a penis, but it's not a man.
I don't understand that.
So you've got a female who identifies as a man.
No, you've got in this particular instance I've been talking about.
Right, okay, so you've got
a man who identifies as a female.
Right, so
has legally changed their gender on their passport to the other sex.
So your mum,
yeah,
and this man standing next to each other.
Right.
Which one's the female?
My mum.
No, because you just said legally they've changed their sex.
Oh, the person in the example I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, from a legal standpoint, they're both females.
But they're not, are they?
No, one is physically male.
And that's where it should come down.
Physically male, but gender-wise, they identify with and are legally termed as.
Yeah.
Legally and physically are two different things.
See, this is where it's wrong.
Yeah, this is where I was confused, which is why I tried to research.
Yeah, and I again have looked into this, but the only thing I can come up with, using my very, very limited brain power, is it is bollocks. Unless you're going to take that operation, make a stand, make a change.
Right.
That's like saying I'm vegan, but I eat meat.
It's really...
You may identify as vegan, but you're eating meat.
Tell you what, before we go any further, right? When I post this episode, I don't know if this is one episode we've gone into or possibly two. The conversation might have started in the one previous to this, whatever it is. When I post this, I'm going to explicitly state in the episode number, this is when we blah 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 and put a little blurb in. I'm going to say this is when we discuss transgender, transsexuality, blah blah blah. And I want people to comment and offer their thoughts, or perhaps, like I say, I want education on this. Percy thinks it's bollocks.
Yeah.
Why not offer some sort of information where we can easily identify it, because we don't fully understand the situation.
I am willing to change my opinion.
Yeah.
But I'm going to need a decent education on it. Because the amount I read into it, and I agree these people may identify as female, but they're male, and male, but they're female. But I'm thinking, if you really want to identify as that sex, why have you not gone through the thing? You might be in the grey area, you might be waiting for that operation, in which case, yes, I understand. But I think until that operation occurs, that's when the change happens. Because what if you're in a country you don't speak that English, that language from? What? And they don't... Right, so say you're in a country...
Yeah.
And you get lost.
done that before.
Right, and someone arrests you for, walking around naked or something. Right?
Yeah.
So you've been walking around the desert, and you end up naked somewhere silly, yeah? You get arrested, and they see you're naked, they know what sex you are.
Yeah.
They put you in a male prison.
Right.
Is that wrong?
If you're physically male.
Yeah.
This is my entire point.
Yeah,
this is why I brought up this
and
conversation.
that's what I'm saying. That you cannot blame people for looking at that, for making that cold cut thing, because that is how it is.
This is what I said. I don't understand why people leapt on this immediately.
Yeah,
to say,
I'd like to understand the percentage in the world of transgender people compared to that people. Right, I want to see the amount of transgender people against the amount of people that believe they're Jedi. Just so I can fully understand the numbers.
Fuck.
Because these people identify as Jedi in the same way that you think you identify as another gender.
But there's identifying as a Jedi in a religious census.
Yep.
And there's actually...
They've put it down, it's legal.
And actually feeling that you're a Jedi in a human body.
They've put it down, it's legal. This person has put it down that they're male.
But it's not recognised religion.
Legal.
Jedi isn't recognised religion.
Yet. But how recently was it that a male could be recognised legally as a female?
Very recently, but this is...
Then let's go on the same basis that potentially next year you can identify as Jedi being a legal religion. So those people that write Jedi on a consensus, bam, they're
Let's
Jedi.
go back the other way. Let's get away from Jedi. Let's go back the other way, right?
Right.
Winter Olympics.
Yes.
Being held in Russia.
Yep, land of the gays.
There's been a big furore about there are now laws against gay propaganda in Russia. And they said that anyone who participates...
Is that pro-gay or anti-gay?
The Russian government doesn't want pro-gay propaganda in their media or protests or something. People have been arrested for this shit, right? For coming out loud and proud as homosexuals. But the fact that they've been arrested for it, probably not cool. In what should be one of the world's major powers. Yeah. But Russia's pretty fucking... it's a big deal, right? So the fact that they're arresting people for publicly identifying as gay isn't cool. Would you agree?
I agree 100%.
Yeah. So you agree that people should be free...
Sorry, are these legally gay?
There's no such thing as legally gay.
Oh, but you can be legally transgender.
The rule isn't against being homosexual.
I'm just trying to work out. Gay isn't a legal stance. Transgender is.
You don't legally identify as gay. You're either gay or you're straight.
Right. But you can legally...
Do you legally identify as straight?
Yeah.
Have you got that somewhere in a document from the government to say that you're straight?
Yeah. I think on the council tax you have to say what you are. I think you have to say, I am a white citizen, I am straight, that kind of bullshit.
But are you entitled to any more legal rights than a gay person?
I think just general privilege of life.
Fuck's sake. Brett, let me rein it in a bit.
Yeah, rein it in a bit.
Stop trying to be funny.
I'm being a prick here when I shouldn't need to be.
Right.
Because you're making a prick of this all by yourself by trying to be the whole. Oh, I'm for the transgender.
No, the only point I'm trying to say is that it's the community who are fighting a losing battle by kicking up a stink with people who don't understand the issue. Instead of trying to say, look, the reason why we're fucked up as a community against this person being treated in this way is because of this. Their immediate reaction is to say, clearly this is an anti-transgender conspiracy against us.
Yeah.
And we're being, minimalised and sidelined as a community. There's that immediate reaction of, fuck the world, they're clearly against us.
Yeah.
And that's what annoys me. It's the same as digging an even bigger hole, feminism.
Yes.
I know some pretty militant feminists who are excellent at expressing their reasons why they think the way they do. And that's cool.
Which is great.
But it's the ones who...
And I think it's really sweet. If you want to be a feminist, that's really big of you.
It's the ones who go the other way. And are like, if you don't agree with my thought policy, you're a misogynist, you're a bigot, you're probably racist.
And a rapist.
Probably rapist.
Yep. Well, that's it. Some of them believe that by being male, you are inherently a rapist.
Yeah. Or inherently part of the system that holds them down. And this is a small minority of feminism, just like this is a small minority of transgenders.
Yes.
Right? I don't know if transgenders is the correct verb, but fuck it. And it's
I think they like trannies.
Trannies, right? What was that film with the trannies in? Julie
Mrs.
Newmar.
Doubtfire.
No, Julie Newmar.
Showgirls?
No, it was 3 cross-dressers going across the desert in a bus.
3 Musketeers?
Yes.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
No. Something.
Anyway, back to your feminist ideal, so you can get yourself some hot feminist pussy.
No, it's the idea that there's a small minority of feminists, a small minority of transgender, fucking whatever it is.
Yeah.
But also, it's also nationalist as well. But it's the sort of people who say we shouldn't allow any immigrants in the country. They're all rapists and thieves and fucking clogging up the system.
Oh, yeah.
It's any community. You know, it's Democrats and Republicans. It's fucking pro-gun laws and anti-gun laws. It's always small minorities who fuck it up for everyone else because they're the loudest.
Yeah.
And they talk shit. And then people like you come along and go, oh, I think transgender should be shot. And then all of a sudden, someone writes a blog post about it and it's all over Twitter. And then once again, we're reaffirming the fact that these people who believe these things about transgender are being held down. But it's not. It's education. It's take a moment to think. If something's written against transgender people, take a moment to think about why it's being written and who's written it and if they're fully informed. If they're not, maybe offer them some education. If they are fully informed and they're being a dick, tell them they're being a dick.
Yeah.
But don't assume that it's some sort of big conspiracy against you.
Yeah.
Got it? Good.
That and get it cut off if you don't want it. But right, let's end this because we're going on.
We're going to end this?